This is Ernest Harvey, owner and trainer at Camp Moula, man. I'm in here rocking with the Fanview Live podcast, man. You already know. Big things popping over here, baby. One love.
Welcome, guys. Welcome, everybody, back. Fanview Podcast, Episode 12. We in the building with Camp Moula, baby.
Zow, baby. What's good with it? Nice to be here. Blessing to see with y'all guys, man.
Yeah, y'all already know this. I'm that boy, Fred.
Coach Hurricane here. Back
G
at it
Sportz,
again.
man. In the building, in the flesh. Got my dude, man. Ernest Harvey from the Tribe.
Yeah.
Parish.
Try.
Y'all think y'all holding it down over there?
We holding it down,
Y'all
man.
think y'all holding it
we
down?
holding it down, man.
Uncharted waters, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, there
we
you go.
putting on. We putting
Y'all
on
ain't
for
got
the
nothing
city.
but waters down there.
The bayou. We call it the bayou for a reason.
Yeah,
Got
bayou
my
for a
lakes and
reason.
canals.
Muddy water too. Muddy. Everything from the mud.
Yeah.
From the mud.
Got my dude Turk in the building, man. Ernest Harvey, owner of Camp Moula, sports performance trainer. You know, owner of a CEO of the 707 Naturals. Been doing this thing with that the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Turk, man, talk about your journey, bro. You know, I remember when you started. Me and you started around the same
Yeah,
time.
about the same time, yeah.
Around the same time.
Facts.
You got fired from your job at Weatherford, huh?
Weatherford. Yeah. Laid off. Don't say fire. That sounds so bad.
You're right.
Put some respect on it, man.
Fired, laid off,
Yeah.
resigned,
Resigned.
whatever you want to call
Relieved
it.
of his duties.
But you know, I remember that story, and I remember you telling me how that changed your life and made you, follow your passion. Talk about starting Camp Moula and training kids and how you got to the point that you at today.
Well, first, I wasn't really focused on training at all. It was something we did on the part-time. Get off from work, get some extra work with some kids, go home. Wasn't even nothing that I promote too much. Just was doing it in the shadows of the everybody not knowing. Eventually, I got laid off of Weatherford falling off like they did, and I had a lot of time on my hand. And I started taking this serious and just started doing more training sessions at the parks. The group got bigger. As I grew, the groups grew. As I grew, the athlete got better. We eventually was able to take another step forward and ended up in the Natural Sports Complex. Josh Coldstone blessed us with that opportunity. So I ended up training all of his baseball teams. I can use the building when I want to at my expense, If I want to go train at 3:30 in the morning, I can go do that on the inside now, so I'm blessed with that. But it's been a journey, man. Dealing with, the city, telling you can't do certain things when you want to.
Right.
People reporting you doing drills and chopping up the park's grass. It's been a journey. We went through a lot, but we made it through it, and we blessed. We happy for a lot of what we did through the years, for sure.
Talk about when you started training, where you were training at, and how, getting out the mud at that point.
Well, I was living in an apartment, right? So I couldn't really leave my daughter. She was almost an infant. We had like this little bitty piece of grass at this apartment complex.
Wow.
Maybe, 15 by 15. Couldn't really sprint, but it was a lot of feet work, a lot of quick speed and agility stuff. We can get that in. We can catch balls. It's nothing to finish with a 10-yard sprint. That's all you need. 10-yard sprint to make the play, you know. So we worked on that a whole lot. When we can get to the parks, we got to the parks. Heroes, MLK, wherever a piece of grass was, man, we was trying to get it. We was chopping it up, just being honest, getting work.
Strong wildlife.
Yes, we was. And it was a blessing to be out there, because it humbles you whenever you do change that situation.
Right.
When you come from basically nothing, man, I used to go out there with a school bag with my tape measures from work as cones, And if I didn't have enough tape measures in my bag, I'd take my slip off and throw it. Hey, look, we stepping around that Nike slipper. You got something in your bag, give me a shirt. Look, we gonna make a move at this shirt, And then eventually we started investing. We got cones and hurdles. And I can remember, shout out Javon Reed, my guy, another one from the Tribe, made it up out the mud. One of my first total packages of training equipment came from Auburn. It wasn't much, but it was something,
Right.
And when I got that package, it turned us up a little bit, because now, we working with stuff that Division I football players, and not just Division I football players. This is the SEC.
Yep.
You know, this is the NFL of college football. So you got this from him, and that shows you, hey, we're using the same things y'all doing. So keep going. You know what I'm saying? So eventually we just invested, and after the years, God blessed us, man. And I was introduced to Josh Costa.
Who were some of your first guys that you started training? Like, tell me, who was the pillars of Camp Moula?
Well, a lot of people don't know this, man. Me and Reed did a whole lot of work before he went to Auburn. Cause you know, me and T. Reed, because you know he was a receiver. He got recruited as a receiver, and I played receiver. And a lot of people in my city look at me as like one of the best receivers that came through the city.
No
even
doubt,
though
lucky I ain't played that last game.
I would have killed G. But
even I got hurt. They put a hit out on me. Even first series, put a hit out on me. Cody Coleman and Bagucci.
Maybe he faked the injury. Was like, look,
Stop.
I don't want to see
I
four
wanna-
anyway. I don't want to see four anyway.
Stop.
You know?
Want no part.
Yeah, but people in my city recognize that I was one of those guys, and even though I didn't go play college football, I still get that recognition and that feeling like, look, he was one of those guys.
1,000-yard receiver.
Yeah, so, yeah, most definitely. So when Reed was getting recruited, he was like, man, look, I need you to teach me some things. So we was working, man. I did sessions with Jarvis Landry, and nobody knew, you know? And that was just me. Nobody knew me. And it was just those kids were young, you know, chasing their dream. We was at the park, they pushing each other around, doing one-on-ones. They going both ways against each other. You know what I'm saying? But both of them getting recruited at receiver at the time. You know, Reed ended up changing in college.
Right.
But man, it was Trevon Reed. They got a lot of guys that didn't make big football, but they're doing good things in life right now that we trained. Like Big Man, Leon, man, we could name a whole list of guys that didn't go on and play college football, but they used the football to better themselves and better relationships, and they molded themselves into good young men. So the list goes on, man. And honestly, that's a hard question to ask because we've been doing this for so many years and we've touched so many guys over the years, man. My mind draw blank sometimes when people be like, well, who all you work with? It'd be like,
oh yeah,
you know, it's hard. But man, it's been a whole lot
because it's been a body of work, a resume.
Yeah, yes, and
people.
And like I say, it's uncharted areas where we coming from, you know. So these last few years have been special, man. They got guys making plays all over, Division I football, D2, JUCO, SC, whatever it is. We trying to get them guys to college for free off God-given talents if they can sharpen up and be the best they can be, you know. Football is a blessing that you can take advantage of and change your life and your family life, and that's what we're here for. We're trying to dive into you and make you the best person you can be.
I got to get that picture when you're inside your apartment when y'all training that little small piece of grass.
No shirt.
And, with no shirt and Meek in the picture with you.
That's
Meek
me.
Robinson
Yeah,
played for the Las Vegas Raiders.
Me, Meek, and Kyron Brooks.
Kyron Brooks that went to Edie White.
Yep. Went to
Yeah,
Edie White.
yeah. You got to send me that picture, man, so we can make sure we put this on the podcast.
All us, we had just finished in that little 15 by 15, and you can look at our body and all of us juicy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a trainer that I get down and busy too. I'm go show you exactly how it look, you know, and me popping off those moves, it give a better description to some of those guys, you know. Me, and that's a blessing too. God has blessed me to where I can move, and I still got a little ability to where I don't look goofy making certain moves,
Right.
and it look clean.
Yeah, it look clean.
Yeah, you know.
And the kids pay attention to that.
They do. So my 1-2s and my 1-2-3s look real good, and it's always under control. So, you know, they look at me and they be like, all right, that's how I got to look. So that's the advantage I got as a trainer, too, that I really can play. I really can move. I'm really one of those dudes.
Let me ask you. I always hear you say we. And like the first time I met you, this was I'm going back. It was the Bayou Sports Camp that G put on, that we all was like coaching at. And I
was at Vanderbilt Catholic.
Yeah,
It's at Vanderbilt Catholic.
And
It was amazing.
that was the first time, and then like we exchanged numbers and stuff. And I was like, man, let me reach out to Turk. Let me get on the phone with him. I want to do something to get. It was at the time. It was Nig Devontae Lee. That's where he's at La Tech now. That I was trying to get him more exposed because of his body style. And you like, man, just come down. It's better for me to show you. And I came down there. And by this time, y'all in the complex.
Yep.
And it's like baseball going on, softball going on, football going on.
Yep.
And you explain it, boom, 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 boom. And you're like, hey, you mind work with the D-line real quick? And then you just took off. Where are we at? Because, like, you was all over the place, and you were training each individual sport. Like you didn't stop.
I don't know. It's just a habit of me saying we. I'm not a selfish guy. I mean, me being a trainer is not what you just see me. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I got a lot of people that I depend on and I talk to. That if I'm about to make a decision, I will call. Or coach, you think I'm doing this right? You know, we got a lot of dudes that I depend on that I look up to as big brothers, as coaches that I respect, and trainers that I respect. So I don't mind asking for help. That's not my problem. If I feel the only way I can be the best and provide the best to my athlete is if I learn from the best, study the best, and if I have a direct question and I know it can be answered, why beat around the bush and try to figure it out myself when I can just make this call and he gonna give me advice he would give his son. He not gonna steer me in the wrong direction. So I'm blessed with some guys that's in the look. He's one of them. You know how I rock, man. I'm calling. I'm not trying to figure it out on my own.
That to me, I think that's one of the things that makes you Turk special, because I remember, like, I didn't know Mason Smith from here to that camera over there, and you was like, hey, that's the next one. And I believe he had his teammate Caden
Lewis.
You know what I'm saying? We were just
Arkansas
sitting there,
State.
Arkansas State, right?
we were just sitting there talking, and I'm a very visual person. Like I just read the room, and I sat there and watch me talk to them and showing them boom boom. Hey, look, when you're doing this is where it come boom boom, and then fast forward, this is senior year. Like I came back down like a couple more times. Then fast forward his senior year, and I'm watching the beautiful job that Julie did with the interview.
The ball one, man.
You know,
Tiger details
on you and Mason and stuff. And I'm seeing like the finished product, the thing I talked to him about, boom, 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 but then the Turk spin on it, the drills,
That's
boom,
exactly
boom,
what it is.
boom, 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 boom,
Exactly
boom.
what
Like,
it is.
Like it then the hit. Like I've been doing this probably about as long as you. I never look for recognition. Like, hey, because my goal is let the kids shine.
Facts.
Let the kids get out here,
Facts.
because nobody did it for us in our generation when we was doing it. And to watch that, and you was like, man, I studied it, I reached out, and it was best for Mason. That's what was stuck out in the whole interview with me. Talk about that process, and it's not just I watched you do the same thing with Mason, with Caden. It was a freshman. He should be a senior now. That was at Dutchtown. It was like the list. Like
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Was going on. Like you talk to them each one. It's like just because you the next one, or you the shiny toy right now. You the one that can elevate me. I'm not on that. I'm about each individual one gonna get the same individual thing.
Love, right? Because at the end of the day, you're selling a product as a trainer. You know, when you drink a Coke, you want the same taste every time you drink it. Once it's flat, you like, this is not a regular Coke. As a trainer, if I go into that building, if I'm working with 100 kids, if I get to the 100th kid and I'm not that person I was at the first one, somebody's gonna be able to tell. And let's get this out there. I don't put on no Clark Clint Superman cape before I get it from somebody to change how I am.
Right.
I am 100% myself everywhere I go. You know what I'm saying?
True story.
And that's just me. So, for instance, like you're a defensive line coach, right? I play receiver. How would I know more about that position than you? So why not learn everything I can learn from you when I'm with you?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why not? Because I know I got guys back at home that need this work. And when they ask these questions, I got to be able to answer them as if I know what I'm talking about. The minute it don't sound like I know what I'm talking about, he don't know what he's talking about. So I got to lean on guys like yourself. Like you say, I was around you for that short time, but hey, I learned something from you. And that's what it's about. Everybody I'm around, I'm gonna learn something from. And regardless if we talk for 5 minutes or 2 minutes, you know,
You're gonna take something from that
I'm
conversation.
gonna take something from the conversation. Whether it's how to handle myself, or I like how he greeted me, you know. I like how he shook my hand. I think I need to shake hands like that. That felt better.
The small things.
Small things, you know. It's just stuff like that. Just being humble enough to say, I'm not the guy that I need to be. I always could be better. Always.
That's big.
Now here's my question for you. you are training a lot of these kids, whether it's basketball, football, baseball, doesn't
Yeah.
matter what sport.
Yeah.
And all these kids are in their recruiting process. And I'm quite sure they probably talk to you
Yeah.
somewhat
Yeah.
about what this is like.
Mhm.
How are those conversations like with these kids? Because these kids we got kids in the social media era. So they thinking they working out, they're training. Every kid has Power 5 dreams,
Mhm.
SEC dreams,
Yep.
what have you. How are those conversations like, with some of these kids as terms of they working out and setting the proper expectations versus expectations of, you know what? You got people out here saying, you can be whatever you want to be. They got people saying you can be what you're good at.
Mhm.
How are those conversations like for some of these kids that you're
That's some of the toughest conversations you're gonna have, because you're brutally honest. First things first, you gotta tell a kid, hey, you D1, you D2, you JUCO, you NIA, whatever it is, you gotta tell a kid. And then another thing, a lot of kids be trying to play positions that they don't need to be playing just because they like to play that. But you gotta be able to tell them, man, look, I really think you can be better at this. And that's just being honest with the kid. With recruiting going how it is, just being honest with the kids right now as far as seniors, man, you got to tell them, hey, look, it's tight pickings right now. You know what I'm saying? With how people hitting the portal, guys are recruiting juniors rather than high school seniors. So you got to pick your poison. I believe what I'm telling my guys right now that's mentally drained from saying, man, look, I don't have nothing. The JUCO might be the new route right now, Instead of just sitting down not doing nothing, why not go get 2 years of film?
I prefer walk-on.
I prefer
and
walk-on.
go earn your scholarship.
And earn your scholarship. But, you got to find your way. You can't just let the dream die just because you ain't get a D1 scholarship or what you wanted. You know what I'm saying? There's a million ways to get that scholarship or that degree for free. A million places offering money and scholarships. You just got to tell them, man, we're going to find something that's best for you. Whether it's like Markel Daigle, for instance, go to the prep school for 1 year, and then go try out in the SWAC.
Hell of a journey.
Yep.
Yeah.
Prep school, SWAC, walk on, scholarship,
Yep.
college graduate.
Own his own trucking business.
Own his own trucking business, got
Shout
his
out
own
to
family.
Markel Daigle, man.
Shout out to Daigle, big
Shout
time.
out to that boy.
I think a lot of these kids today, Tom, there's such an instant gratification world where they see all these material things. And a lot of people put a lot of work in it for the material things. But they think, you know what? All those things, if I do the same things, it's going to happen for me in the same fashion or the same form. And that's not going to be the case for every kid.
No.
That outcome ain't going to happen like that.
No.
So you got a lot of kids today just think, you know what? I just got to do little work to get big reward.
Yep.
And it's like, how do you gauge these expectations with a lot of these kids? 'Cause a lot of these kids think that I'm working out to get stars.
Can't be a buddy coach. It is what it is. I mean, that's what it is. You're not out here to sell false hope to nobody as a trainer, man, as a coach, because that's where bad relationships happen. Man, you told me this and this didn't happen.
Right.
At the end of the day, man, keep working. I can't promise you nothing. Keep working. We gonna get to our full potential. Somebody come knocking at the door, they come knocking at the door. Don't get your feelings involved in, it's my junior year and I don't have nothing.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, my main guy I trained tore his ACL his junior year and didn't have
nothing.
that camp or summer to sell itself.
With people coming in late.
And he wanted to do D1 football at a SEC school. But that didn't come until late. For instance, Jalen Lucas, one of my favorite guys.
Mm-hmm.
Try Paris, baby.
Try Paris.
He did not get what he felt he deserved until his senior year. And what J. Luke did, though, I'm a small guy, so I'm going to swell up.
Yep.
He did everything he needed to do to put himself in a position, and he made a great decision for himself. Look at him, return specials of the year.
Yep. Had a
And
hell of
All American.
freshman All-American in the end.
They got him on the top. I saw a post just the other day. Who you think will have the best running back season? And he's in a picture of like 7 running backs.
Yep.
But stay right there. Stay right there. Because it's another guy that you train. And me and G went back and forth about it. Not to this day. To this day, I feel like he would have been a better DB. And that's Ja'Kai Douglas. And G will always, man, you only seen him at quarterback. See him as I'm like, I
agree with G.
I just felt like somebody in the nickel.
I'm gonna tell you, I just was with Ja'Kai last weekend, and he made a few moves, and it blew my mind.
If
From the
Florida
offensive
State,
side.
Offense.
if Florida State ever figure out to put him at slot
Instead
and
of running
match
back.
him up on safeties and motion him and use him as a real receiver and let him use his route running.
Yes, that's what he's a hell of a route runner. I'm gonna tell you, if we want to, if I
It'll
would
be
go
sick.
out, I will go out on a limb right now and say Ja'Kai Douglas probably top 2 route runners on Florida State. I bet he kill it one-on-one.
Oh, no,
we don't have
no
the
doubt.
film.
No doubt.
We don't have the film.
No doubt.
But I promise you, he's punishing their one-on-ones.
No doubt.
Think about some of the best receivers in the league right now. They built just
Justin
like
Jefferson.
Ja'Kai. Tyreek,
Tyreek.
Waddle, Judy.
Brandon Cooks.
They smoking.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great time to be small.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've been telling a lot of kids that
Yes.
it's a great time to be small.
With the
Polish
skill-
up.
with that skill set.
Cooper Cup.
And if you could get in and out of
Cup
those
like
bricks,
6'1.5" though.
Yeah, he ain't.
6'1".
Renfro,
Hunter
Renfro.
Hunter
Yeah,
Renfro.
that's a good
Hunter
one.
Renfro.
if you couldn't get in and out of those cuts, it's dangerous. The ball,
Shaheed for the Saints.
Yeah.
Yeah,
practice
Rashid
squad, and
But he blazing. But he.
I'm just saying,
Yeah,
he's
he's
small,
small. He's
but it's
small.
small.
And Deontay Hardy
Yeah.
small. Yeah, they small.
Small.
went to a D3 school.
Yep.
That's what I told Ja'Kai that. I was like, dog, you are like one of the new age receivers
New
in the
age
league.
receivers.
Yeah.
I just coming out of high school. I seen him do, especially at that camp. Like
Yeah, he was going both ways.
I seen him do something. It was like,
But
man,
could it be the right system
it
at Florida State?
It was it was like a big kid that they had out there that he just like he couldn't get off the line with him, and then like the true receivers, like his footwork, like at DB, if you got feet,
Yep.
you got everything.
Yep.
Everything else could be taught. Like it was just natural for. I was like, man, if he goes somewhere, because just like that's a new offense. The new defense is having somebody that's
Yeah.
on the side like a Charlie Gardner-Johnson. So, hey, look,
Yeah.
get in here, trust your feet, and when it's time to make a hit,
We're gonna try to put you in the best situation to where you don't.
I just think he's such an excellent route runner,
Yeah, bro.
and he's so smart and understands
he got to be
how
smart with that
to.
big head.
Right.
Come on,
He got a dome on him now.
He bottle size 9 fitted head.
Yeah,
No doubt. He got to wear that 8 on that fitted. But he's such a superb route runner,
Yeah,
man. So
yeah.
smart,
Yep.
and catches the ball away from his body, can high point it.
Right.
You have to utilize a skill set like that.
Yeah,
You just
on
have to
offense.
utilize it. And I'm just hoping Florida State understands that going into this next year. It was unfortunate that he had broke his collarbone.
Yeah.
It was a collarbone, huh?
Yep.
Broke his collarbone and missed the first 7 weeks of the season. I think that put him behind the 8 ball because he was having a phenomenal fall camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was having a great fall
He
camp.
was gonna be in the back
Norvell,
the whole line.
Yeah, Mike Norvell was talking about it and stuff like that. But I think, that's just part of his process, man. We talk about this all the time.
Right.
It's
Right.
numerous of kids I have conversations with, and it's like everybody's path is different. And as cliche as that might sound,
Yeah.
It's the
your
facts.
process not gonna look like his process. It's
No.
just like his brother.
Yep. Right.
Jalen went in true freshman at 17 years old.
17.
He just made 18
A young freshman.
and killed it. Freshman All-American in the Big Ten.
Yep.
Running kicks back against Michigan State on ESPN.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I did not. I knew he was electric.
He
We knew.
electric.
You know what I'm saying?
We knew.
But like y'all get to see him.
That's what I'm saying. We get to
every
see
day.
him.
Like
Yeah,
like
that's what I'm
as a
saying.
as a coach and a whole nother
What he did in the Big Ten this year.
I'm game planning and all that stuff, and
What
I'm
he
like,
did.
all right, so I trust you. You know what I'm saying? We like, hey, we got one.
Right.
We got one. Like,
Right.
it is one of those biased days. I know your brother. I can your brother can walk in. We can sit down and have a conversation. I know you the little brother, but I can talk to Ja'Kai. Boom, boom, boom. I think now like he ain't Ja'Kai. That was every time
That was
you
the
tell
thing.
you ain't Ja'Kai. You ain't Ja'Kai.
They
Then
different.
I was like, who?
They different.
Ooh, and
They
then I think the tri-parish, and it might be a little Turk magic, like out the state for the past. I'll give you the past 5.
Mhm.
The only one I'll put up there that like maximum. The only 2 I'll put up there that's like tit for tat. That's not from the tri-parish that can mess with the group that you had come out of there would be Trey and Aaron. But from I just had his name. The little short quarterback from St. James when they won state.
Shamar.
Shamar
Smith, man.
from Shamar
Samar Smith
to
really good.
Kaya to Jalen to Jakai to I'm missing one, G.
Samal was really good.
Jamal was good.
But it's like those playmakers like
Yeah.
Them boys blowing the roof off.
No doubt.
ridiculous.
No doubt.
Ridiculous.
No doubt. Turk, man, I've been knowing you for a long time. We graduated the same year. Ever since I've been knowing you, man, you always been so passionate about whatever you was doing. Whether it's playing Madden, whether it was playing basketball, man, we could be saying we about to race 20 yards. You always was a competitive person, and you remind me of myself, and I think that's why me and you
20-yard
always
dashes, man.
why we've always gravitated toward each other so much. When did you know that your purpose for your life was going to be to giving back to the community, training kids, being selfless and putting a lot of people before yourself, and doing some of the great things that you've been doing? You know, you've been on Channel 8 News numerous of times. You've been all over different media company reports and stuff like that, including G Sports. You know,
The first, you know.
you know, gotta play homage. But you came from a rough background, man. Rough background, man. You know, I know your story with your mom.
Yeah.
You know, and your grandma raising you, and things like that, man. Talk about that upbringing, man, and how that fueled you to be where you at today.
Oh well, just the feeling of seeing another person succeed in life, dog, being honest and being emotionally attached to that kid and his family. It's nothing like you knowing a kid from when they was in middle school or younger, and this kid came to you and say, Coach, I want to play ball on the next level. And you look at this kid and say, let's do it. And that's the first conversation you have. You say, let's do it. It's not how we gonna do it, let's do it, you know? And when you see that kid grow into a young man, to a man, into where he's raising a family, now he's providing for a family, that feeling, it gets very, very addictive. Not saying that it benefits you financially, but dog, just being emotionally healthy
Right.
is a good thing in today's world with everything that's going on. And that's where my health comes from, putting a smile on people's face, man. It's like, it's crazy in the city now how many kids, you know, just want to have a conversation with me or just ask me about football. You know, I pass through certain hoods and I can't pass through without stopping because they go jump in the middle of the street. You know, they ask, hey, Coach Turk, you got gloves? Coach Turk, when we doing this? Coach Turk, you got training? When I come back, you know, it's just small stuff like that. That's life changing.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel like you're making an impact.
Yeah, and then when you say the community, when I'm walking in Walmart and the elderly grandma say, Turk, y'all doing school supplies this year? Turk, y'all doing a Christmas toy drive? Turk, what y'all doing for Thanksgiving? I know y'all
You've
always
been doing that the last 5 years?
Yeah, I've been doing that since I've been training. One of my first year of training, I started school supplies giveaways, and then I piggybacked off that. We started doing
I came this past year.
Sure did, yeah. We do a whole lot in the community, but just, you know, now it's expected.
Right.
You know,
You
like
created the standard.
yes, I got a son that's a freshman at Thibodeau High, and I'm walking through orientation with him, and a parent walk up to me and say, Turk, do something with him. Just that expectation in my community, it means a lot to me, you know, and I stand on being that guy in my community. I stand on trying to help somebody better themselves. I come from the water being cut off. I come from the gas being cut off.
Right.
Boil your bath water on the stove. Run a hose pipe from next door to get your water. Or all your Christmas toys coming from the Christmas toy drive. You know all of them. Because I've got this 5 years in a row. They wrap them the same. You don't got to peek in these gifts. We get the same gifts every year from the Christmas toy drive, and it turns us up. We're happy with this. And coming from that, you know, again, it humbles you, and it always make you think, man, you know, I got a kid that's 10 years old that's just like me right now, that mom might be in the streets, dad not here active, living with their grandma in a 2-bedroom house, 4 brothers. She got a room. Your mama got a room. She's not there, but she got a room. So you and your brothers shacked up in one room, 4 of y'all, you know. no elbow room because you got bunk beds. You got to slide in between them to get in. Serious, like it's
talk.
like but the kind of brother I grew up in a house to where we go make fun out of everything. So the gap between the twin beds was real small. So we'll try to catch each other when you ducking and getting under your bunk.
Right.
I'm trying to catch you and smash your head against the wood.
Yeah. We made a game out of it.
We made it. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
you dig? So we tried to make fun out of it, and that's what I try to tell kids. Like, dog, your situation don't always
it can always
dictate
be
who you
worse.
are.
Oh, you are.
Yeah, it don't dictate who
worse.
you are. Yeah, it don't dictate who you are, man. Because you can look at me, and I can promise you, if you meet me right now, and then I sit down and talk to you, and I explain my life story to you, you're not gonna say that's the same dude I met.
Right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They got you don't look like what you went through.
Yeah, exactly. You're not gonna say that because I stand on showing the community that it doesn't matter if your mom in the street and your daddy not there, or you getting raised by your grandma and you can't get what you want when you want it.
Right.
Dog, you still can be somebody.
But it hurts. But you still got to go put the work in.
Yeah, you
Man,
do.
you said
But
you got a freshman son?
I got a son that's a freshman right now.
Boy, y'all wasn't planning to try to play. we all the same age. We all graduated the same time.
Well, shit, I mean, I got a sophomore daughter. I mean, that's, you know.
I got a daughter that's a junior though. I got a daughter that got one more year and she out of there.
Y'all wasn't playing for real.
Right. But what I want to know is, Turk, what was the turning point in your life where you didn't want to be a product of your environment, where you didn't want to be another statistic to come out, out of Tipperary? What happened? It was something that happened that clicked in your mind and said, you know what? I'm gonna change the narrative. I'm gonna be different.
Dog, to be honest, I really can't pinpoint it because at the end of the day, dog, like it was so easy for me and my brothers to get into some dumb stuff. Like I say, my mom was in the streets. Our pops wasn't there. Our grandma in the house. You know what I'm saying? So when we leave the house, it's easy. We hung around the hustlers and the dudes that was doing dumb stuff to get themselves arrested. We hung around them. But
Right.
when it came down to decision making, when I knew, oh no sir, Graham's gonna bust me up. You know what I'm saying? Certain stuff like that,
Right.
It sticks to you,
Right.
But I don't know when it was like to when I decided to say, you know what, I'm not gonna be a troublemaker. I'm not gonna be a hustler. I'm not gonna be out here breaking and robbing people. I don't know what it was, dog, because I always been a happy kid. Like I never wore what I was going through. Dog, I played a whole year of middle school basketball as the best player on the team in 8th grade in some platinum FUBU shoes with no sole on the bottom.
That's crazy.
Shooting threes and making them. Like at the end of the game, people like, boy, you balled out. Like I'm sliding all over the court because my shoes ain't got no grip on
the
them.
bottom.
They really the cotton part. And they FUBUs. That's not even hooping shoe.
Right.
So like, dog, and look, that's some of the happiest times of my life.
Right.
I was happy with
That
nothing.
made you who you are.
Being happy with nothing, it teaches a lot. So, man, like I said, I never was a troublemaker, bro. Like I could count on 3 fingers how many fights I had in my life. And that's not saying I ran from fights. That's just saying
You didn't get
how
up that
everybody looked like, dog. That's the cool dude in the hood.
Right. Real talk.
You know what I'm saying?
Real
Like,
talk.
I don't have a problem with nobody. Nowhere I go. Unless they mess over my kids some type of way, I might snap out of there a bit, but I'll apologize, but I'm going to let you know if you're right or wrong.
And now I've noticed, since you've gotten married and you got a family, man, you are very, very family oriented, man. You
Hell
always
yeah.
got your kids with
Hell
you.
yeah.
Your daughters and stuff running around.
Yeah.
I see how they gravitate towards you. What you went through growing up,
Yeah.
has that made you the father and the husband that you are today?
Facts. Man, in my household, my family know how I feel. This is the happy place. When you hit that door, I don't care what you went through today. When you hit that door, this is the happy place. This is Wakanda. You feel me? Straight up. This Wakanda. Forever. When you walk through that door, this is Wakanda, man. I want number happiness and joy, and I want us to enjoy being a family. Anything I can include my family in, I'm including them in. I didn't experience vacations. I didn't experience families waking up and eating complimentary breakfasts at hotels as a youngin'. You know, I didn't experience that. So my kids liking, like, man, Daddy, when we going back to the beach, like, dog, that make me feel like
The king.
yes,
The king of the castle.
we going back to the beach, you know. But that's just showing them things that I didn't experience as a youngin', man. Like, my kids went to Disney World. Like, that's big.
Big.
Like,
Right.
I didn't go. My trips when I was a youngin' was all-star basketball trips. Galliano, the West Bank. You know what I'm saying? And how we grew up at home. And how we grew up at home, we wasn't eating fast food, so that was my McDonald's trips. For the
Right.
pity, when I go home, if grandma ain't cooking, find something.
Find something.
Sandwich,
Chicken sandwich,
noodles.
Yeah.
Find
The
something.
noodle pack, the Chinese noodles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and this is something I stand on. We're not rich, but my kids think we are.
And that's all that matter.
They think they could get anything in
They
the world,
won't. Yep. Yep.
and they willing to ask for it. You know, and if I feel like they can ask me something for something outrageous and think I can get it, I'm doing a good job as a parent. Because they're happy and they feel like, you know, we're not struggling, we're not going through no struggles. I like it. I
That's
love
amazing,
it.
bro.
That's basically where I'm at with it, man.
That's amazing.
Family is big to me. It's big. Like, if my family, a lot of times if my family can be involved, I probably won't mess with it.
That's big.
That's huge.
That's
huge.
amazing, bro.
That's
huge.
That's a great perspective.
Inspiring.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
most definitely.
that's
Because at the end of the day, like you said, you got a wife and you got kids. And how could you be pursuing greatness at something and not have them
and
included?
they're not included.
You know, it's good to hear black men talk
There
about
you go.
it. Because we show, like, if you look on G page, I guarantee you, every 1 or 2 days, I don't want to say his kid's name, but there's a picture of his son
Yeah.
or his daughter on there.
Yeah.
You look on Fred page, I'm not going to say his kid's name,
Yeah.
but you going hey, it's fatherhood, it's great day.
Yeah. Fall life is great.
Right.
You know what I'm
100.
saying? Like, I knew.
Fall life is great.
I know I was close in there. So
Fall life is
You know what I'm
great.
saying? You look on my page, like, hey, if it ain't my kids,
Yeah.
it's my nieces, my nephews.
Somebody.
You know, it's
Family.
It's
family.
showing like,
Yeah.
hey, it's okay.
To
It's
be in the
okay
family, yeah.
to be the man and show this side of you, because you don't have.
Right.
Because when you looked at as a black man, especially when you out in sports and all that stuff, you expected to have this persona of tough guy.
Yeah.
Boom,
Yeah.
boom, 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 bang on your chest, and the buck got to stop somewhere.
Yeah, and you know what else I'm big on, bro? I'm in tackle my emotions, honestly, bro. I feel for a lot of people, and I don't know if it comes from me growing up how I grew up, but though I could watch a video of somebody on Facebook and get emotional. And I'm not talking about emotional like, nah, I'm just messing me up. Like, a tear might drop, you know. A random stranger, just
Right.
watching their struggle, knowing like, man, like if you haven't been through the struggle, bro, like you don't know what it feel like to go without what you want or what you need sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know how it feel for you to be hungry and you open this refrigerator and like, what's going on?
What's going on?
Right.
You dig? Like, you don't know the feeling of always depending on government assistance. Like, you don't feel that. You don't feel I'm calling my dad, hey, come get me, come get me, come get me. I'm coming and never show up.
Man,
You know, like,
I went through that.
people
Yeah.
don't feel that. Like, you can't put that into words too much to where a person could say, I understand what you feel.
Or you got the last name of somebody that you only met 5 times in your life.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly.
that's
You gotta-
tough.
But then you got to deal with that when you start having kids and you got to need a medical history. You call your dad, your father that raised you. You're like, dang, I can't talk to you about
Yeah.
this because
Yeah,
in
because
this situation you can't help.
Yeah, and that's the stigma of, you know, most situations with that was the stigma for black fathers so long that they was absent in the house, you know, and that's being in the position that I'm in, y'all in. Of course, you know, y'all dudes are models, man. When you in the community, kids look up to you. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta keep walking that road for those kids to see that it's all right to be a regular guy, not into nothing crazy.
Yep.
I drive a '97 Chevy.
It's a
And
Chevy.
you
And be pushing that
and
bitch.
you could swear to God, as a
He
Lambo.
come around the block.
You swear to God, that cause I got them flow things on. But you know you would think it's a Lambo truck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I joke with this guy I train with all the time, man. LaFont, he joke about my truck all the time. He said, "Man, you pulling up in the coach truck or you pulling up in the first round draft pick truck, man?" I said, "I'm pulling up." I told him, "I'm pulling up in the Pablo Escobar, baby." You know, but dog, and like I said, man, I live a good life. I'm happy, man, and
No doubt.
continuing to help people being happy. I see those dudes making plays on Saturday, man. If y'all to see me in my dog, like when me caught his first interception, my kids and my wife literally ran out their rooms and thought something was wrong with me. Cause they don't watch I pause in my house, they hate football. Just to put that out there.
Right. Right.
I love football so much that my family hates football.
Right.
Now my son coming around a little bit now, but when I'm watching football by myself, you know. So
Sound like my son. He go off and start doing his own thing.
yeah, so those dudes making plays that I've been knowing since kids, man, I be losing it. Like
We both be losing
I
it.
be losing it.
And that's the good part about it. That's the
Right.
side of coaching that they don't get to see. They see most of your fans. They see the Friday night.
Yeah.
Oh, this one did this. They see the newspaper clippings. They don't see you sitting there talking. When you don't see
See that when the camera on,
you
man.
could not get
Yeah.
this. Like Osiris Torrance, who's probably gonna be in the first round,
No
no later in the
doubt.
second.
For real.
They didn't see when he showed up as a freshman, 450 pounds.
Raw.
They didn't see him couldn't get in his stance. Look at my dog.
don't
Ain't
see
give
all
up
that.
a sack.
You don't see all that. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You see the finest
He only
product.
gave up one
Right.
sack in college. You know, like it's the small things that everybody take for granted that we sitting there like he worked to
Yeah.
get that.
Everybody see the highlights, but they don't see when you as the coach or the trainer
They
gotta
don't see
tear
the
him
grind.
down.
They don't see the grind.
They don't see you telling them, no, that's wrong.
Mhm.
They always see what they do right.
They
You
don't
know
see
what I'm saying?
You gotta do boom, 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 and then now I get on the elevator.
Yeah.
Cause we at rock bottom.
Yeah, we at rock
And
bottom
I'm
for
gonna
sure.
put you on rock bottom
I got to.
because everywhere you go ain't gonna have a sky ride.
It's a breakdown and rebuild. Once I meet you for the first time, it's a breakdown and rebuild. I call it surgery.
Let me ask you this. You know, and especially in this nature that we in now, you know, somebody's gonna watch our podcast that's not Louisiana,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and they have kids that they want to put in training, and they, you know, so they gonna sit there, they gonna research Camp Moula, and say, oh wow, this is all the guys he worked with, and then they think every trainer is a good
Couldn't do that.
trainer.
Yeah. Just because of what they did.
And
already.
or they look at videos, and that's one of my biggest pet peeves. Like especially as a football coach,
Mm-hmm.
like I would, if you want your kid to go to training, cool. I'm not even gonna pick training. I'll tell you who not to go to,
Mhm.
because if I see that's not gonna help him. No, on the football field. He just doing stuff just to
To get it done.
You know how, as somebody who's been doing it as long as you, and the amount of kids, because people don't know, like, hey, Turk did work with the combine and stuff. So like
Right.
he's like legit
Certified.
Stamped. With
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, like at the highest of the high. So your advice in this situation for these parents or some of these coaches, like, could really go a long way. Like, what's some of the do's and don'ts in picking a trainer? What's some of the red flags that they should look watch out for? And you know, I guess break down next step and process for, like, if you wasn't Turk the trainer, but
I was looking for a trainer.
You looking for a trainer for your kid.
Well, first thing first, I wouldn't search for a trainer just because of his name. I mean, look at me. I didn't play no college ball. I'm not a professional athlete, but I would call myself a good trainer. So I would try to get to know the person, get a background on them first. Don't solely judge off you go train with somebody just because they train with Justin Jefferson, this person, that person, this person, and that person, because you don't know when they met those people. And I'm big on I done trained a lot of kids that play Division I ball that I won't claim as my own, you know, because they're not. Like, I didn't train with you. We done did sessions together, but
Like a Jamie Vance.
exactly, like
Right.
Greedy, like Jair Brown, all those kids that came through and we did numerous sessions. But I would never say they're in that circle like Jakai, Jalen.
Because you started from the bottom with them.
Started from the bottom. Now that everybody started realizing I was a good trainer, you know, I started bringing in athletes like Greedy, athletes like Jael. They come and get the work, you know, because they realize it's working. You got to pay attention to growth. Look for some kids that's been in the program for a few years and see how
they develop.
How they developing. Don't just say this kid running around looking good. Shit, that kid probably been running around looking good like that.
Right.
You know, so you can't go off that. You just got to get to know the trainer. Start off slow and pay attention to the sessions. Don't just drop your kid off and walk out. Make sure you're doing something beneficial to your kid.
Make sure that he responding.
Yeah, and make sure your kid in a comfortable position too, to what a kid can learn. Because some kids gets with these trainers and they're not comfortable with the trainer, so you're defeating the purpose if you don't respect what I'm doing, or we can't get along, we can't cope with each other because you feel some type of way of my training.
Right, and you think I got some agenda against your child or something like that.
So you gotta talk to your kid, because the kid may not be comfortable with certain trainers, you know. So comfortableness, for sure. Development, never, ever judge off a resume. That's the last thing you want to do. Never judge off a name, because it could be a professional athlete that's in the Hall of Fame that start training. That don't mean he's a good trainer, you know. So that's basically what I would do. I would do my homework and I would be patient with the process. Don't expect major change in such short time. Get a trainer some time and see how your kid develop before, you know, you're making the changes with it. But definitely don't search somebody and say he trained with this person and that person, because
and that's what a lot of people do.
Yeah.
I talk to kids and parents all the time. They be like, well, yeah, we gonna go with this trainer because he trained Jamar Chase and he trained Deion Sanders' son. I'm just
right. Yeah,
he and we
trained high profile players.
Yeah, we get caught up with
the
these
brand
names and not really paying attention to, is this person going to get my child better?
Yeah, is this the best?
Not only
for my
that,
kid? Yeah,
you know, I feel like, is he a good person?
Yep.
Even if you're a good trainer and you can get my child better, but do you have good core values?
It makes sense.
Are you preaching the right things into my child? You know what I mean? And that means a lot too, because sometimes you have your child around certain type of people,
and you don't know how they living.
Yeah, and they implement certain things into them, you know, mentality wise.
They take that back home.
That you don't agree with.
Or they take it back to their school and with their coaches.
Yeah.
And it messes the child up.
Yeah.
So you really got to pay attention to the whole grand scheme of things when you're talking about who coaching your child, who training your child.
Facts.
And I'd like to add one thing, and I don't know if people let you know this enough, Turk. I love the way you train simply because it fits any scheme. I've seen numerous people get trained on numerous things, and for instance, like for a D-line standpoint, you're just teaching the guy pass rush. You're just teaching the 1 or 2 pass rush moves. That's not football. Yeah, passing was a big part, but if you can only play on downs that they passing the ball, you're not gonna be in this very long.
No.
And if you are in it long, your money ain't gonna be as long as it should be.
Facts.
You know, make your kids balance. You know, instead of just, hey, my guy's gonna go run a 9 and get the 50 ball.
No.
50 ball.
No.
You know, my cause like you know, it's just to me that's like the biggest thing.
Right.
It was one thing, like I used to be a big against, like, man, why go to, that's one of the things I hated it with 707, to be honest with you. Like, hey, we going, like, especially as a DC, 9 times out of 10, we ain't gonna play man to man. Like, you know, it's on certain formations. Why would I go man to man on a bunch? You know, I'm about to get rubbed all crazy, but every 707 league, you look at they right there, and you don't get that much space. There's something called a line of scrimmage, so you have to be all.
You know, some people doing 707 the wrong way, some people doing it the right way.
And that's the thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those, like G said, like, everybody don't have the best interest for the kids as a whole.
Hidden agendas.
You know what I'm saying? They want.
It became a business.
I want to make money off of this, and I want to make you. To me, they're worse than the college coaches used to be, because they're making money off of it, and you know they making money off of it, and they about to highlight your kid, and they about to straight profit, and he gets nothing but a spandex shirt.
Well, as far as 7-on-7 programs, I can talk about how I do things. First thing first, I never ever I do as much as I can to avoid people saying it's all about money. You know. Secondly, I'm too passionate to fake anything.
Right.
So just being honest, I'm not gonna never ever be out there at a 7-on-7 tournament and not be screaming and coaching. I don't care if you scored a touchdown or not. I've had guys score touchdowns, and I was like, yeah, you scored, you beat him, but I wanted to see, yeah. You know, it's just different. You know what? Hey, I'm teaching DBs, man. Walk down on him and don't touch him, just cover. You know, because a lot of times DBs walk down and they get so caught up in the touching, that's where they get beat at.
They don't move their feet.
You know, you know what? I don't want you to touch him. Just cover him. You know, I challenge guys like that in the middle of the game. Walk down, touch him. You know, if they go in motion, lock up, certain stuff like that. You know, change the defense at the last second of the where we can change it just to see how fast they can react. You know, it's all about like trying to teach them real football. And any guy that's on any of my teams will tell you how I am. We have meetings on Saturdays. We talk number football. I try to teach exactly everything the right way for a kid to take something away from this to when they go with their coaches, because that's the last problem I want is a problem with a head coach of a football team. I want them to learn something to where when they get back with those coaches, it was like, yeah, you wasn't wasting time at all.
Right.
You ever had those kind of conversations with head coaches, like any kind of conflict with any of them?
No, because honestly, I'm a trainer, and I have never did no wrong to nobody. So if somebody got a problem with me, that's their problem. Because I honestly, like, just being honest, I don't do nobody no wrong.
Right.
Like I'm not into no funny business. So at the end of the day, I just stand on what I stand on. You know, being me,
being you,
100% of the time, and trying to teach things the right way. That's what I stand on.
My dog Turk, man, we gotta end this podcast with a little. What's your favorite?
Here we go. This might get messy. This might get messy.
Here we go.
Might get a little messy.
Here we go. Here
might
we
get a little
go.
messy.
Here we go. Go.
Might get a little messy.
All right. Favorite football player of all time? College, NFL, high school, it don't matter.
Deion Sanders.
Ooh, man, you in agreement on that. That's why
Yeah,
I
I
in high school. I was gonna lock you up. If I didn't get hurt in that last game,
And now look, I play receiver, but a lot of liking Deion comes from just him being himself, his swag.
His swag.
Yeah. Favorite sneaker?
The Nike Air Force One.
Which ones?
The Air Force One, the regular G Nike.
G-Nice.
Okay.
G-Nice.
You know what time it is
Yeah.
when he said Air Force One.
Yeah, the low
G-Nice.
top.
Like, I got
The low top Air Force One.
All kind of, yeah.
Low top Air
G-Nice.
Force One.
Okay. Favorite NBA player of all time?
Brian.
Yeah.
Brian. I'm gonna say that.
I knew the answer. I just had that.
Yeah, you know that. You've been doing that for a long
So
time.
he's the best?
Yeah.
King James is my guy, bro.
So he's the best of all.
To me.
Yeah.
You heard
Now look, and let me put this out there.
You heard what he said?
Let me put this out there. The only Brown is my guy, and I don't argue that no more because I'm comfortable with saying he's my guy. You will go back and forth with stats. That's good. You can have that. Brown, my guy. I'm not trying to change your mind. The only person the person can say better than Braun, and I would, all right, cool, and I accept your decision, is 2-3. Mike. If you say anybody besides Mike, you're out your mind.
I agree.
So
Favorite coach of all time?
Mike Tomlin.
Mike Tomlin. Okay.
Mike
Why?
Tomlin. Dog, I don't know, bro. Just something about how he handles himself in interviews. Just Mike.
He just Mike
everything
Tomlin.
about Mike Tomlin,
He
man.
just Mike Tomlin.
I love that dude. And I'm not a Steeler fan, but I love Mike Tomlin.
Okay.
He's a straight up dude. Like
Yeah.
he's like every time you see him speaking,
Bad
like
News,
he's
Virginia, baby.
like he's passionate, like he's straightforward.
Favorite movie or favorite sports movie of all time?
My favorite sports movie of all time. I would go with sports movie. Remember the Titans.
Run his backside reverse and run like your life depending on it.
Man, it can't be the program. That gotta be.
No, I would
Nobody
go.
watching no program.
Mine's
No.
The Blind Side.
No, I like
Lord, he gonna
because
deal with Becky.
at the end of the day,
Blindside,
none of those.
bro. The Blindside. Listen, bro.
Listen,
that
Sandra
movie
Bullock
touched
did
me.
it. Sandra Bullock did an outstanding
movie-
job.
She
She
won
looked
all
good.
awards.
She looked good.
Outstanding
when I
job.
watched that movie.
Dog,
Outstanding job.
that movie really like when
You
I
can't-
watch that movie, dog, it do something to my soul
See,
every
bro.
time I watch it.
You can't not pick a football movie with the GOAT in the movie. Denzel.
So that's your favorite actor of all time.
That's the GOAT.
Let's go.
You know when I fell in love with him? After Malcolm X, man.
Okay.
He did what he did in the Malcolm X movie solidified how good he can act, bro.
When he hit that walk with Spike Lee, I knew.
Oh man, with the arm swinging, man.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. Okay. Favorite rapper of all time.
My favorite rapper of all time, HOVA.
No, that's two. That's two we got.
Yeah,
that's two
man.
We got. I'm a whole fan, big time. All right.
How?
He a Tupac fan.
No, he a Biggie fan.
Biggie?
I swear.
Biggie, he only got 2 albums.
I was about to say he can't be my favorite with 2 stripes.
2 albums.
Hey,
2 albums.
hey,
Cole, he was nice, but you can't come to the table.
your boy, his first 4 albums, all my dog lines. Look it up.
He rapped like him a little bit, but I'm gonna tell you something.
Copycat Lee.
No, but there's a close now. You know, Weezy F right under Jigga.
Look it up.
Okay. But what you all right? So when you train,
Wayne.
what you got?
I'm not putting
bumping?
Jigga on.
What you got?
Bro, I
right,
did.
what you got bumping? Like, cause Birdie is the streets are talking that you about to get back into the coaching game. I ain't gonna say where it came from. So before the game,
Yeah.
you getting your receivers hype.
Yeah.
I heard you're gonna be coaching receivers.
Yeah, this man Chris.
Put it out there.
What you bumping? What's getting you hype? What's getting you in your room hype?
A lot of stuff. I like Future, Travis Scott. Shoot, a lot of people, man. Who else?
Lil Baby.
Lil Baby.
Baby.
Bag.
549.
Put Dirk in there?
Moneybag?
in there. Moneybag.
Kenny brother.
I showed by the actual.
Who?
Dang. I know I wasn't the only one.
Kenny's brother.
He had me up in here looking like a fool.
That's a rap name?
Okay. I'm telling you, he had me up in here looking like a straight fool. Turk, I'm talking about like he like
Y'all know Kenny brother.
man.
I'm gonna put you on.
Yeah, put me
Man,
on.
he was like they were like
Put me on.
they were like, look, he don't know what I'm talking about. I never.
We still doing. We still
The
doing
only
Future
brothers
too,
I know
though.
is chicken. You hear me?
It's not your fault. It's not your fault.
We still
I'ma
doing
put you
Future too.
on, bro.
Yeah, you gotta put me on.
I'ma put
me
you on.
Yeah, Future too, though. You know, that's I'm
Turk was like,
one of the old
who?
guys.
All right, well,
That's his name.
no.
Hold up.
Greatest receiver of all time. You play receivers?
I got to stick to my gut. A4, man. Randy Moss.
Flip floss.
That's my number one. Now, I've argued, me and my receiver coach used to go back and forth
Now,
about
see,
this.
that's my argument comes when I talk about between the greatest and the best. I think the greatest is Moss. And I think the best is Jerry Rice.
I think you got to flip.
To me, it's about impact.
I would say now that makes sense.
Talent-wise,
Talent-wise, it's Moss.
It's Moss.
Yeah.
Talent-wise,
That's
it's
what I say.
Moss.
When it comes to impact, it's Moss. But in terms of statistics, the stats, right? It's Jerry Rice. No one has his stats.
No, I would say
Rice is the standard.
when it come down to the total receiver is Jerry Rice. When it come down to playing receiver is Rice. When
Right.
it come down to athletic ability and maybe numbers,
Impact
it might be
and freak
Moss.
of nature.
Yeah,
And freak of
because,
nature.
Yeah, but I don't have to put somebody over the top of Jerry Rice.
Right.
I have to put somebody over the top of Moss.
It's the play that
You gotta
nobody
put somebody
can
on top
defend.
of the Jerry Rice.
I'm just
Because he
Rice
gonna
was
beat him
fast-
at the line.
He was fast,
No, but-
yeah, but he was faster with the ball in his hand than running his routes.
He's
Correct.
not gonna run
Correct.
like you couldn't let Moss get even.
No,
I feel like Calvin Johnson should be
in a discussion.
in a discussion.
My top 3 is Moss, Rice, and Terrell Owens.
Yes.
Taking Tyrone.
Yes.
I'm taking-
Yes.
I don't think
Yes.
T.O. gets the.
Yes.
He caught the ball with his
Yes.
chest too much.
I don't
I'm
think-
taking T.O.
I don't
over
think
Calvin
T.O.
Johnson.
Gets the.
Agreed.
I don't think T.O. gets the.
Agreed.
I'm taking T.O. over
Taking
Calvin
T.O.
I
Johnson.
don't think
Take
You
T.O.
lost your mind.
I
No,
like
take
T.O.,
T.O.
bro.
I don't
Take
think
T.O.
Catch the ball with his chest.
It's a catch-all drop.
Thank you. Tell him again.
Say that to Chad
Hey, bro,
Johnson.
look. When somebody,
Say that to Chad
all right,
Johnson.
listen.
Say that to him and watch
If I shoot the ball, you shoot the ball.
Oh, you said Chad Johnson.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm
no,
saying
he's saying Calvin Johnson. From
Oh,
he talking
oh,
about
I said
nigga-
Calvin Johnson, but I'm
Oh.
saying if he say something like that, the
Oh,
Chad
okay.
Ochocinco,
Listen,
he gonna eat you alive.
Listen, G. Does it make you a better 3-point shooter because your shot go in all net and mine hit the rim?
No,
No.
hit all glass.
So what's the
If you
difference?
hitting all glass, if you hitting all glass,
If you hitting all glass, that's luck. I agree.
so I feel like hitting your chest is
if
luck.
you get
No way.
if you hit 100 off glass, what do you
That's-
call it?
That's a skill
You
set.
gotta-
That's
that's
called
skill
Tim
set.
Duncan. God damn it.
I'm about to say that.
It's called skill
That's a
set.
skill
It's called
set.
Tim Duncan.
Mr. Fundamental.
But we know what's off the
Man,
glass shot
T.O.
we
used to drop
talking
the
about.
ball a lot, dog.
But
I'm
his-
sorry,
He's the
dog.
best
T.O.
receiver.
numbers
yards.
are real
He's
good.
the best receiver in terms of yards at the catch.
No, T.O. numbers
He's the
real
best you
good.
ever seen.
Listen, I'm not
Best you ever
disputing
seen.
that he wasn't elite. I'm just saying
You saying you like Megatron better?
Megatron wasn't dropping all them balls like that. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I think from athleticism, I think you could put Calvin there. I think when the ball in his hands, when T.O. caught that ball, you put that ball in his hand, there was no other more dangerous receiver than that ball in his hand.
But that's simply because all Calvin was like a deep, like he didn't have no. It was no yak. Don't look for him for yak.
He was putting it on your head.
Yeah,
Put it in your head. Yeah,
You know
but
what I'm
Who wouldn't get no yet?
Calvin Johnson.
Crazy. Go back and watch.
You go back and watch.
He was getting that T.O. yak?
Not to you.
Okay, now we talking about
Nobody got that yak like T.O. Nobody got that yak.
But Calvin would catch a slant, stiff arm.
Oh, he was a big old man.
Yeah,
He's a big
stiff
dude.
arm,
So
break a
6'5",
arm tackle,
230.
man.
So you
I'm
take.
holler at you.
So where you putting Julio at?
Not up there.
He not
Not
there.
up with them.
I'm asking.
He not-
I'm
he not-
asking
nah, he
Turk.
not up there with them. Nah,
He-
don't get me wrong.
he's the
Don't get me
receiver.
wrong.
I'm asking.
Julio is definitely a generational talent, but longevity wise,
I got Larry better than him.
Fitz?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Fitz.
over who?
Or Julio.
By far.
By far.
I think to me,
Not from a
to me, it's
attribute
like
standpoint, but just from like
it's the it
producing.
goes it goes back to the
because
Moss
Julio he got hurt. too
Jerry
much.
Wright thing.
Yeah.
You know, when you come to total receiver, Mr. Fundamental, that's Fitzgerald. He's not.
Right.
He's the only
Oh,
thing
yeah,
he's
he ain't
gonna blow
gonna
you
drop the
away
ball
with
at all.
is the only thing Fitz is gonna blow you away with is consistency.
Yep.
I
But
think
then when you talk about freak of nature,
But Fitz would blow by you too, though.
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
Fitz will blow by you.
Except the
Oh, yeah.
speed.
Yes.
Yeah, except the speed.
Fitz a blow by you.
So, question. I like A.J. Brown. I see a lot of T.O. in him.
Before the season started, we had a top 5 receiver in the NFL.
All right.
I had A.J. Brown my top 5. These two guys laughed, and ridiculed me.
Come on, man.
yeah, I did.
I did.
A.J. Brown
What
played
you
football.
saying now?
Yeah.
What you saying now?
He top
What
5.
you saying now?
He top 5.
I
Look, and,
Hold on,
just to
hold
be
on,
honest,
hold on, hold on.
my partners in my group message when I was telling them when he was with the Titans, I say, dog,
he like that.
he liked that.
And look, for the record, me and him never talked about this.
No, nah.
No,
we never talked about this.
no.
Hey,
I just had Cooper Cup ahead of him. That's all.
Cooper Cup before AJ?
Nah. I didn't do that. I didn't do
Triple
that.
crown.
Do
That.
that.
I didn't do that.
Triple crown.
All I said,
Oh, no.
No, like you said.
Now, G,
Catch
keep it
the
a bag,
catch, right?
Keep it a bag, G. What did I say I had to
Hundred
see?
foot.
System.
What did I?
I'm about
What
to
did,
say.
what did I?
A sister ain't catch no 140 balls, 19
Man,
16
Man,
touchdowns.
put A.J. Brown with the Rams with Sean McVay and watch what happen.
Hey,
Sean
watch
McVay about
what
to
happened.
tie anyway.
Hey,
I'm just saying, you put in with Sean McVay and watch what happen.
All I
Now, you put Cooper Cup with the Titans.
I told you he's
Oh,
a
with
better.
Philly.
I told you he's a better physical talent.
Turk.
You think he put numbers over Philly?
Yeah.
Turk,
yeah.
all I
But
did
he put it with the
was
Titans.
say
I told you
have
he's not
to
doing what
see
he
I told you
in the
AJ Brown's a
league.
better physical athlete.
In the league, all I seen him in that system.
Mm-hmm.
I could go back to the SEC and say like, yeah, he got the skill set, but I had to see it in the league. That's
saw it.
That's the only.
Yeah, I
that
like
was
AJ.
the only thing I see
saw it.
because then another thing was I didn't know. Nobody expected Jalen Hurts to
be what he becomes.
produce the way he
think
did
so.
this year.
I think people underrated Jalen Hurts because at the end of the day, his body of work at Alabama had him as a consistent
But
passer.
bro, this what people don't understand. I say this all the time. I'm consistent with this saying. You only good at your situation. And
But
I don't think Jalen Hurts is just a top 5 quarterback in the league.
Mm-hmm.
But bro, look what he got at his disposal. You got Miles Sanders, a Pro Bowl running back who was a top 5 running back in the league this year.
Yeah.
You had Brent Selleck, who was a really good tight end.
Been a good tight end.
Yeah, you had a really good offensive line, probably a top 3 offensive line in the league. Then you had Devontae Smith, you had A.J. Brown, you had Watkins.
Mm-hmm.
You had an offensive-minded head coach who knows how to call plays. It was a great situation.
But he had the same.
That
it was the same
enhanced-
situation last year. The only difference is he didn't have AJ Brown.
That's a difference.
Yo,
That's a big difference.
You got a top 5 receiver now.
You saying Tay wasn't a
look, this a second
number one
year.
wide receiver?
Who that?
You saying Tay wasn't?
Tell you what,
Wasn't a number one wide receiver? His
he's
rookie
not a
year?
number.
He not a number one.
Not to me. Don't get me wrong. He's really, really good.
He's not the number one.
He's really,
but he's really good.
See, that's people's problem.
Talking about Smith, right?
Yeah. That's people's problem. You see, we get all caught up with if we say somebody not a number one receiver, like that's a slap in the face.
No.
Or we trying to say he T is really good.
He's a number one. He's a number one to a number one get
receiver.
there. A number one is there.
He's
a reason why they make out AJ Brown. It's a reason.
I say he ranked high in the number 2 receivers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, he's a number one to number 2 receivers. He's probably one of the top tiers. He's probably 1 or 2.
Yeah, he one of the top tiers. Yeah, he in the top tiers.
Him and Jalen Waddle will be like
that's just like Chris Olave. People talking about, man, we don't need Michael time to make Chris Olave the number 1 receiver. I said,
number one to number one get there.
I said, don't get it twisted. Chris Olave is really, really good, but he's not a number 1 receiver to me. I feel like him and Tate is like him and Devontae Smith is the same type of receiver. I think Olave might be a little faster, but they got the same type of skill set. He ain't nothing wrong with being a number 2 receiver.
Correct.
He's still gonna get his money.
No.
He's still gonna make Pro Bowls.
This be my like rebuttal to that argument. It's 32 NFL teams,
right?
If can he be a number 1 on one of those teams if they don't have him?
Okay.
Yeah.
He can.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He can. But is that offense gonna be?
That's.
I don't think it produce. I don't think the offense produces as much with him as the number 1.
That's it.
If you take Devontae Smith, you put him on the Texans and say you the number 1 guy, is that offense elevated? I don't.
No,
think so.
I don't.
But
think
you got to
so.
think, but going into that, who the number 2 and 3? Who number 2 and number 3 gonna matter though?
That's it.
It all matters.
So the number 1 is good as the number 2 and number 3.
That's what I'm saying. He's a number 1.
It's a marriage.
That'd be my thing. Like when they're like, because that was my when AJ got that, and it ain't cause, and it's not cause I know Tate. It ain't cause.
Right.
It's just like look at what he was doing before that. Yeah, nah, that's just like if AJ Brown didn't go there and DeAndre Hopkins would have went there. The numbers that AJ Brown got, D Hops would have got.
Definitely.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
But it doesn't take away
from Tate.
Hell no.
I'm not saying. We're not taking.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like, but that's just one of those, like you said, it's the marriage.
I drafted Tate in fantasy this year.
You know what I'm saying? It's one of those.
I knew for sure.
But that's how I look at it. Like, hey, if you draft him, if it's 32 teams pulling out a hat, is number 1 receiver, is he gonna make it when the teams pick a receiver? Is he gonna make it in that first go round? Now that's how I judge it. But
it depends on what you're trying to do with your team.
But it's situational though.
Yeah.
Everything is still situational. Because if I'm a Tennessee Titan offense, just give me somebody that can run a drag.
Yeah, because I was about to say some teams don't have a true number 1 receiver.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like,
I feel like San Francisco don't. That's what I feel. That's how I feel.
Debo Samuel.
Debo Samuel.
That's how I feel.
Ayuk, it got to be one of them.
No,
that's how I feel.
It's Debo.
Like I don't like he does.
You see Debo's as a playmaker versus a receiver
because he getting the ball in the backfield.
Right. People think the same about Tyreek.
And that's why before the season started, him and his agent came on and said he didn't want to be in the backfield because he wanted to be labeled as a true receiver.
You know what I'm saying?
And people had the same problem with Tyreek.
You know what I'm saying? And I was like, that was my. I was like, hey, he's a playmaker. Right. Nah, he's a hell of a playmaker. Don't get it twisted. But like when we talk receivers, I'm talking about like Jefferson, Chase, AJ, Tate, you know, guys I see like if I want to give them the ball in the backfield, pull in the backfield, it's icing on the cake.
Yeah,
but goddamn it, this is first down, second down, third down. This is what I got them, and this is what they got.
I can isolate my number 1 receiver, and he gonna make a play.
Right.
Yeah, it comes down to what you're looking for. But I think I think Tate's listen. They got a lot of very good number 2 receivers in the league.
Hell yeah.
Like T. Higgins.
They got a lot of good receivers in the league.
They got a lot of good receivers.
Just like I just said, Ayuk. I like Ayuk a lot.
Hunter Winfrey.
Jalen Waddle on number 2.
Jalen Waddle number 2.
They got a good.
You got a lot of those guys in this league. I'll probably say like Mike Williams. For the Chargers.
Who Dallas number 2 is?
Noah Brown.
Noah Brown.
What's that? Hello, somebody.
Last question for you, bro. Last question.
Before you get, I gotta ask one question, because he hurt my soul when he said, "Ho."
All right.
Rockefeller,
I was part of that era.
Me too.
But
We
Cash
all
Money.
was.
Woo! Cash Money. I can't disrespect the label now. I'm gonna tell you something. Birdman special to me, man. I can't
That's a
disrespect that
question.
label.
That's a
Now we
question.
talk about artists, I might say, oh, we talk about the label.
No, I used to even listen to the Big Timers album.
Yeah, bro. No. Don't play with it like that.
Birdman really couldn't rap, but it's like
No.
Everybody
still
gets
listen
involved.
to
I
it.
gotta
Yeah,
listen, bro.
And you
Yeah,
still
bro.
bumped it in your car.
Yeah, bro.
Damn.
Cash Money.
Everybody get your roll up.
Cash Money Records.
I
I think Cash Money Records is the best record company ever in history.
Ever.
In
Ever?
history. In
Ever.
history.
Ever.
In
Damn.
history, bro.
I
Ever.
don't know. What Arista Records?
Arista?
Yeah, they had Whitney Houston. They had.
He talking.
Now you won't go by Motown and all that. Now them people got a VIP
talking.
list, man. Them people got a VIP list over there.
Hey,
Motown.
look, I'm about to say,
saying.
but like if you add them, Bad Boy might have it because they don't only one that fitting in.
They do, but I ain't rocking with Bad Boy.
But the only thing with Cash Money is that it's only rap label. See, Bad Boy had
yeah,
Bad-
R&B and stuff.
Yeah, man, they had 112.
I want
Yeah.
Yeah, you get it how you live. You get what you want.
I need a girlfriend and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, Diddy is the man, so you know they got some soft stuff.
Yeah, there you go.
They got Diddy over there, they got Birdman over here. You're not gonna get no R&B over here too much.
Say that, little brother.
Yeah. I think Birdman did sign Rick James' girl though,
Yeah, he did.
Tina Marie.
He sure did.
Yeah, she was with Cash Money for a little
Yeah,
while.
for a minute.
For a minute. Great for her.
Yeah, TQ.
TQ.
Set it down for MTV. The white lady from Ridiculousness. Chanel West Coast.
I don't know.
I don't know her.
I know it from Ridiculousness.
Yeah,
though.
I'm saying like
How about
she
TQ?
was signed with Young Money.
Yeah.
Yeah, Birdman did a little, but you know them gangsters over there.
You know that. You know that.
You know, I just had to ask. I just
Yeah.
had to ask.
I feel you.
If you wasn't training
Mm-hmm.
and you wasn't coaching, because you about to get back into it,
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep putting the bird out there for the viewers.
All right.
What would Ernest Harvey be doing?
Probably what my wife want me to be doing. She probably want me to be offshore or something. It'll be something provided for my family in a hell of a way though. It'll be something making some money. I definitely wouldn't stop doing community actions though. That still will be in place. But if I wasn't into football, I'd definitely be doing something with my hands because I'm good with working with my hands. Like I was building crates at Weatherford and putting offshore parts together. So it probably will be something that's challenging that I can learn and master, that I'll be competitive with, like try to take somebody's job probably. But it'll be something that I can change every so. It wouldn't be something where it's the job and I'm stuck there. It'll be something where you can be here.
Keep elevating.
Yeah, level 1, level 2. Just keep on elevating. It definitely be something for me to climb the ladder. But it'll be something that make me happy too. So
No doubt. Man, my dude Turk, man, Ernest Harvey, doing his thing down there in the Tri-Parish, man, with Camp Moula. Bro, I just want to let you know, man, you know, ever since I've been knowing you, since we've been kids, always respected you, always looked up to how you was passionate about whatever you was doing, how competitive you are, how you giving back to the community, how you changing lives in the Tri-Parish, bro. That means something to me. And, man, I know the best is yet to come for you.
yeah.
Blessings to you, man, you and your family, man, and the Camp Moula family. The natural 7-on-7.
Yep.
And I know big things is yet to come for you, man. Appreciate you, bro.
I appreciate y'all for having me, man.
Listen, man, appreciate you coming down
man,
here.
most definitely.
You know, everybody listen, get subscribed, like, share, comment, show a friend, Fanview Podcast. Listen, this is episode 12. Listen, I'm that boy Fred.
Coach Hurricane here.
G Sports, man, you know what it is, man. We signing out.
Signing out.
Signing out, baby.
There it is.